Hey guys, welcome back to Corey Has Spoken. Am I a helicopter pilot? No, but that would be cool as shit if I was. I'm not a helicopter pilot, but I would love to be. That'd be freaking awesome, man. I could get places so much faster. Wouldn't have to worry about stoplights, all that good stuff. Anyway, Charles Oliveira missed weight. Is Charles Oliveira the first guy to ever miss weight? No. Charles Oliveira is not the first guy to ever miss weight. In fact, multiple guys were a half pound over the limit yesterday, but Charles Oliveira is the only one that it really affected in a negative way. In fact, Charles Oliveira has been stripped of his lightweight belt because of his 1/2 pound weight miss. This is one of those things when you start breaking down all of the rules of MMA and the UFC that I just look at it and I go, wait, what? What? I was sitting there watching the weigh-in show yesterday, and 9 out of 10 fighters that jumped on the scale, you know, for the straw weights, 115.5 for the lightweights, 155.5 welterweights, 170.5, you know, light heavyweights, 205.5, middleweights, 185.5. I mean, everybody is point 0.5 over. Charles Oliveira steps on the scale, 155.5, and immediately starts looking at his team like, oh shit, what to do? The guy starts, recalibrating the weight, recalibrating the scale, trying to make this work because it was such a big deal. Guys, what an asinine loophole in the system. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I get it. It's one of those things where you look at it after the fact and you can always say, "Well, he knew. He knew the rules. Everybody knew the rules. You can't sign your name on the dotted line that you are accepting the rules of how a champion has to weigh in exactly on weight or under. You can't sign your name on the line and then when it doesn't work out with you and you can't get off that extra 1/2 pound, turn around and complain about it." I get that. I get that. And at this point it's kind of like crying over spilled milk. It's kind of like water under the bridge. He Oliveira and his team nor any of us can't sit around and cry about it now because we all signed on to it. We all signed on to it. We all knew that a champ could not miss. Well, no, let me back that up. I didn't know. I did not know this. Now, I tried to look it up to see if Charles Oliveira is the first guy that, or the first champion that has ever had his title stripped from him by missing weight. And I couldn't find anything immediately telling me whether that was the case or not. So he may be the very first guy that this has ever happened to. He may not be. I'm not really sure, but right off the bat, when I did a Google search on it, I did not see any other instances of a UFC champion having his belt stripped from him, based on having missed weight. So uh, I think a lot of people didn't know. We're so used to hearing that, 155.5, 145.5. We're so used to hearing that because so many guys, like, if you're not a champion, that point 0.5 is not a problem. In fact, you can weigh in at 156 and it's not a problem. You have that 1 pound limit or tolerance, rather, that you can go up to as long as you're not the champion. If you're the champion, you not only can't have the 1 pound tolerance, you can't have the 1/2 pound tolerance. You have to be 155 on the nose or below. This is an asinine loophole in the system. I'm not crying over spilled milk. I'm not saying, oh, we shouldn't take his title from him. We should give him his title back. No, He signed on the dotted line. He agreed to it. You know, as far as the UFC was concerned, and as far as all the fighters are concerned, supposedly this was a common thing. This is a rule that's, been there since the beginning of time. They all sign on the dotted line. They all know that a champion can't miss weight or his belt's going to be stripped of him. I didn't know it. As an average person, I didn't know. And I've been watching MMA for, how long have I been watching? Over 30 years. Since 1993, almost 30 years, I've been watching MMA. 29 years, I've been watching MMA. Before it was even called MMA, I've been watching MMA. All right? I didn't know this. I did not know that a champion could have his belt stripped from him for being zero point 0.5 overweight. Especially when 9 out of 10 other fighters that jump on the scale are 0.5 overweight. Again, not complaining in the sense that, we can do something about it now, because it is what it is. Apparently, it's the rule. Apparently, it's a big freaking deal. So, we have to adhere to it. Because then the next champion's going to jump on and think that he can be overweight. So we have to adhere to what is written in stone and what is already written as the rules. I get that. Can't change anything about this situation right now. But moving forward, can we change this? Because if for some reason you're telling me that that is some sort of advantage to the champion to be 0.5 over when he weighs in, but you're telling me the 9 fighters that weighed in before him that were all 0.5 over, a couple of them even a pound over, you're telling me it's not an advantage for them? So you're telling me that anybody in there is okay to gain an unfair advantage except for the champion. Is that what you're telling me? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Moving forward, the UFC needs to readdress this rule. And if the champion is to be penalized in such a huge way, because I'm pretty sure he's going to lose some of his purse. He loses all of those benefits and rights that come with being a champion. This is huge for Dubronx. And in some ways, my heart goes out to Oliveira. Obviously, this is huge. It has huge implications for his career and his status as now the former champion, and also implications for this fight coming up with Justin Gaethje. But I gotta say too, what the hell was he doing with that extra hour? And what the hell was happening that you couldn't drop that half pound in that hour that they gave you, to where you come back and jump on the scale again an hour later and your weight hasn't budged? Come on, man. You've been doing this for too long. You are on too high of an elite level. You are supposed to have this thing down to a science. You are supposed to be masters of this weight cutting. How many times have you done that? Not to mention, I'm pretty sure Oliveira also used to fight at featherweight too, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure he did, back in the day. As many times as you've cut weight, you're telling me that when you were given that extra hour, you couldn't figure out how to cut that last half pound? That part of it just blows my mind, if I'm being honest with you. But they need to change this rule. An unfair advantage is an unfair advantage. And if what you're telling me is that a champion gains an unfair advantage by having that extra 0.5 pounds, then why does every other fighter besides the champion get to have that unfair advantage of having that extra half pound? Because the whole name of the game is, if you have that extra half pound at weigh-in, then you're a half a pound. You have a half pound head start on your opponent when you all go to rehydrate before you get back in the ring. That's the whole key behind that rule in the first place. So you're telling me the champion can't have that advantage, but all of the contenders challenging the champion, can have that advantage? That's a head scratcher. I'll see you guys next time.